Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabanson. Welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show. We'll be covering everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment. And when we give you guys a first perspective on things and how we see them. And folks, we got robbed. No, we didn't. I'm actually on vacation here visiting family for Easter. So I'm just using the office here at the house, visiting my dad's place. So I just said, well, that shouldn't stop me from doing some work. Today's a critical day. It's the beginning of the playoffs. And I got some topics that I want to get off my chest, so just bear with me, bear with the background, bear with the production. On Monday, we're going to be back to our regular studio and how we regularly do things, but that shouldn't be an excuse to not work today. So, look, there are a lot of important games kicking off today. The most important game, at least to me, is going to be that game one between the Clippers and the Denver Nuggets, but also there's another important game between the Detroit Pistons and the New York Knicks. I think that's going to be one of the most entertaining first-round matchups. And then, of course, we have the final game of the night, which is going to be between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Minnesota Timberwolves. That's going to be a very, very big game. And going into this game, there are a lot of storylines. As a matter of fact, as I just woke up, we're just trying to catch up on some news here. I saw a video on First Things First where they were talking about who would benefit more from this championship. Is it Luka Doncic or is it LeBron James? They were talking about that. There are a whole bunch of different storylines. They're talking about Anthony Edwards and what he's going to do against the Lakers, blah, 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 blah. So as I'm going through the internet here, I come across a pretty interesting article from Fadeaway World with the following headline saying, Julius Randle takes funny shot at JJ Redick, disrespects Knicks with latest take. And I'm like, somebody else that don't like JJ Redick. Now, let me first of all say this for maybe the people that don't know. I'm not a JJ Redick fan whatsoever. I don't like dude. I think he did a great job with the Lakers this year. I thought he was one of the people that was going to fail. I thought he was going to fail, and I was one of those people that thought that. He obviously proved me wrong. He had a fantastic campaign this year. He did a lot better than I expected him to do. With all of that being said, I give him his credit. But with all of that being said, I still don't like JJ Redick. I don't like him. Some of the stuff that he said about players in the past, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't have to like you, right? It doesn't stop me from giving you your credit, but in terms of some of the bozo things that he said, that he was called out by his own contemporaries like Dominique Wilkins, Michael Cooper, Jerry West, Bob Cousy, and others, I think they were 100% correct for calling him out for those bozo takes that he used to have. But that doesn't change anything. So anyway, this report here actually has Julius Randle saying some pretty interesting things. And he also takes a little slight jab at JJ Redick. Before we even get into this, what this report had to say, today's video is brought to you by a sponsor, Game Time. One of the things I love the most is making unforgettable memories with family and friends. And one of the things I hate the most is overpaying for tickets only to find out that there was a better deal out there. That's one of the reasons I started using Game Time. Game Time is the easy go-to app for last-minute tickets to sports, concert, and theater events across 60-plus states in the US and Canada. Game Time saves me time, money, and stress by curating only the best deals, so I'm not wasting a whole bunch of time scrolling through overpriced tickets. Game Time Picks is my favorite tool. It highlights the best value seats instantly. No more guesswork, no more wasting time. For example, I'm really looking forward to game one between the Clippers and the Nuggets in round one. Here's what I like to do. I turn on all-in pricing so I know exactly what I'm paying for up front. I check Game Time Picks to find out the most valuable deals. And finally, I pick the ticket I want. I choose between the cheapest deal, the great deal, or the amazing deal. Once you select the ticket you want, you can use their panoramic seat view to ensure you know exactly what you're getting before you buy. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and use redeem code CLNS for $20 off. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. Okay, so before we even get into what the article had to say, I want to play some quick comments from Julius Randle, just talking about this series, ahead of this series, and then we're going to get into this report. Take a listen to what he had to say here.
Obviously missing last year and playing the playoffs in a little bit. What is the hunger like and excitement, I guess, to get back out there?
I'm excited. You know, this is one of the few times, probably really the only time in my career I feel like I have a chance to really play for something. So I'm excited, and just my comfort level with Coach, the coaching staff, with the team, just everybody is special here. So I'm excited.
Fantastic. Okay, so you heard that. So let's get into it. It says Julius Randle spoke to the media ahead of the Timberwolves playoff series against the Lakers while addressing a question on missing last season's playoff due to injury. Randle took a subtle shot at his former team, the Knicks. This is one of the few times, probably really the only time in my whole career I feel like I really have a chance to play for something, as he said earlier. And then he also said, Randle took a playful jab at his former rival and new head coach of the Lakers, JJ Redick. I hate JJ, he said while the media members broke out with laughter. When Randle was drafted by the Lakers, Redick played for their LA rivals, the Clippers. In their head-to-head record, JJ Redick dominates their matchup, being 10-3 in the 13 games they both played against each other. So you already had to say, what are my thoughts about this? I don't hate JJ Redick, but I can't stand him, right? But I do think that there needs to be some level of animosity between these two teams to make it a competitive series. You can't go into this series being kumbaya, give me a hug, give me a kiss, hug me up, bundle me up, and I love you, and tie a ribbon on me. No. I think that's why I think some of the most entertaining series are going to be the ones where you see a little bit of animosity. That's why I think the Knicks-Pistons series may end up being the most interesting series in the first round because of how the Knicks are up there trying to put their goon down on players and all of that. I think that's good. I like a little bit of trash talk. I think it's going to make these games entertaining. In terms of what he said, look, this may be some bulletin board material for the Lakers. I don't know. A lot of people have the Lakers winning this series easily. We did a show for our playoff, pre-playoff picks, and I actually picked the Wolves to win this series, but I want to look at game one, and I want to see how they guard that pick and roll with Luka, especially on that switch, and how they're going to deal with Rudy Gobert. Is Rudy Gobert going to be even going to play in this series or not? If he's not going to play in this series, or they're going to keep him on the floor and Luka's going to deep fry him, I think it's going to be a very quick series. But if the Minnesota Timberwolves coaching staff figure out a way to keep Rudy Gobert on the floor and come up with a good defensive scheme to deal with Luka, then I'm going to give him a shot. But look, it's still going to be very tough, right? Because if I'm the Lakers, I'm going to put Luka and LeBron James in a lot of pick and roll action and let LeBron James be the decision maker as a player coming off the rolling to the basket, whether or not he's going to attack the rim, hit open shooters like Austin Reeves or Rui Hachimura. I think that's when the Lakers are going to be very dangerous, number one. Number two, the Lakers also have some pretty lethal threats on the perimeter in terms of three-point shooters like Luka, Hachimura, Austin Reeves, LeBron James to a certain extent. So the Lakers are going to be very lethal, right? And Luka is historically known for destroying big men on the switch. Go back to the Clippers series. Hell, go back to last year's series against the Minnesota Timberwolves and look at what he did to Rudy Gobert there. So if the Minnesota Timberwolves don't have a real game plan to deal with that particular play, it's going to be a very short series, right? It's going to be a very short series. But if they do, I think the Minnesota Timberwolves can make it an interesting series. Obviously, we have to wait and see. But right now, I think we're going to be in for some real entertainment in the first round. So these are just my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you on the next show. Peace. Peace.